Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being part of Art Heads and for making these fabulous installations. I am so thrilled to have you here and have your amazing work. We've worked together a little bit, and you do a lot of amazing, gorgeous work on your own in your own studio as well. And I was so excited to have your work in a show before, and just absolutely meticulous and these wonderful, very time-consuming, to say the least, methods of making your pieces. So please tell us a little bit about your work and the relationship to ocean, the relationship to your childhood. But let's start off with how you make the pieces.
Okay. My pieces are made from fabric and encaustic, which is beeswax and damar resin mixed with pigments. And I use heat to basically embed the wax into the fabric. And then I cut the fabric apart, mostly silk and some cotton. And then once it's cut apart, then I reassemble it by hand and then create this.
And how did you choose this wonderful shape on this piece? We'll talk about your other piece after.
Okay, so for this show, part of the challenge for me was I typically work on a wood panel and enjoy the predefined boundaries of that wood panel.
Right.
And so for this was going to be a challenge to come off the wood panel and do something that was a little bit more free form, which is something different for me. Mm-hmm. So that was definitely a challenge, and I decided to use a canvas, an unmounted canvas on the back, and it gave me the opportunity to mimic a wave pattern. So I was thinking about waves.
Yes.
This piece, Wave Worn, is inspired by the colors of seaglass and also a particular place in California called Glass Beach, mm-hmm. which is near an old military site. And they had thrown a lot of garbage into the sea, so it turned up a lot of sea glass over time.
My gosh.
So the idea was sort of this beach is covered with glass, sea glass, and so it was sort of this idea of a whole wave of sea glass. Wow. And so I was thinking about waves, and I was thinking about sea glass.
When sea glass comes up, is it this color?
This is a very more common color of sea glass, that green color. Uh-huh. And so I was thinking about the colors of sea glass have opacity and translucency. Mm-hmm. So I used cotton and silk so that you would get both the idea of having
so some is more opaque and some
is and more translucent.
Yes. And so tell us how again. So you put these on the hot box.
And so that lay the silk over the heated wax, and then when you pull it off, it pretty much dries almost immediately as it cools. And then the fabric is cut apart into strips, and then they're all stitched together
goodness.
In rows, and then those are all placed. So when I think about waves, my process, I like a predictable process. I like a repetitive, predictable process. I find comfort in that, and I like the repetitiveness of it. And I think that also speaks to why I'm so drawn to the beach, is that you get that rhythmic wave, the waves.
And you grew up in
California,
right?
I did grow up in California and spent a lot of time at the beach. So that was definitely a source of a lot of childhood memories, a lot of comfort, a lot of fun. So that's where I draw a lot of my inspiration from that.
That's awesome.
So the waves come in, that's very predictable. My process is very predictable and repetitive. But within my process, I am a little bit looser with the use of color, how maybe translucent the color is, how much I thin out the color with the wax, and then also the shapes. They're They're cut approximately the same, but they're not exact.
Sure.
So then as they're assembled, you kind of get another pattern that takes shape, because not everything is exactly done the
Yes.
same way. The process is the same,
Right.
but the elements of the process vary.
And also the way you've kind of bunched it up to feel like a wave,
Yeah.
you know, that's going to make all these little pieces
Yeah, and
vary.
this was a lot of different process for me, again, to kind of go with a shape that I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And to,
Could you imagine if you even had like, 100 feet more?
I know.
That's so gorgeous. That's really, and then you backed it with on a canvas.
On a
I mean,
canvas.
it's all on a
An unmounted
canvas.
canvas,
Yeah.
so it has
Did
that
you
ability.
sew it on there?
It's stitched on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Each little piece?
Each little piece.
No.
Each little piece.
Each little piece.
Each little
Oh my
piece
God.
is a little stitch.
Y'all, do you see this? a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but the other fun part of it is that some people will say, well, don't you get tired of doing the same
No.
thing over and over again? I don't, but then the exciting part is seeing it grow.
Yes.
And as these elements, combine and it grows and grows and grows, you start to get this other product, right?
Sure.
That takes on this whole nother life.
Sure, it's so satisfying.
It is very satisfying.
Yeah.
And usually it'll take on a shape or a appearance that you didn't expect, with like the different colors, kind of more
Sure.
dense in some areas.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's move over to this piece.
Okay.
So this is a beautiful hanging piece. Look at that. It's just fantastic.
This is called Beaches I've Collected, and when I started working on this piece, I was thinking about beach combing and beach walks. And when I was younger, walking down the beach with a bucket, whether it was when I was younger with my grandmother or with my own kids, of collecting tangible objects. And then I started to think about how I collected them and sorted them and displayed them. And then I was thinking about the elements of wind and color, and combined with that method of displaying the tangible objects, and then what would it be like if you collected the memories of the wind and the color from the beach?
I love that.
And that they're then stacked up and collected and sorted. So
I
I
love
sorted
that.
them into similar colors and then stacked them up, and then this would be my display like it was if I had collected shells or other objects.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. And so how did you decide how to arrange them here for this exhibition?
I decided to sort them into similar colors, and then I liked the idea of doing varying heights and different lengths, just to kind of mix it up, sort of like it would be if you were on the beach,
Right.
as like the waves tumble,
Right.
and the seaweed and different colors come together, kind of rolling together.
It's very calming to look at, like looking at the sea. I mean, and I love that it's in front of this window where we're getting
We
this
get some
beautiful
extra
light in
Yeah.
here.
And then each one of these, this is the same process. So this is silk with encaustic and the pigments, and each piece is cut apart and then reheated, and then as it's heated, I shape it. So, but not each piece is shaped the same way. So much like the other piece, you get some differences in shape, and
Sure.
then you get some light coming through, some gaps,
Yeah.
how they're stacked. It was a lot of fun making this. And again, it was really fun to see it grow and come together, because I really didn't know what it was going to end up looking like.
Well, it's fabulous.
Thank you.
Oh, I can imagine in so many spaces. It's just a fabulous piece. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.